Thank you so much for your time. I've watched it all. It's brilliant.
Thank you.
I just was chatting to Stephen, and he said it very much felt like after a short while, you all very much felt like family amongst the kind of crew and such a young cast, which one of the many things I love about the show. How did you kind of find that rhythm with each other, finding those kind of relationships and kind of preparing for the show?
I feel like we were all up in Manchester, and I think, when you're away from home, you do kind of gravitate towards each other. And I think, yeah, the fact that we're all like a similar age and stuff like that, like I think we just instantly like sort of like clicked. And I think also we had like a week of rehearsals where we were kind of just that first scene of the family. The director sort of mapped out the drawing room with like furniture, and we just rehearsed
Oh,
that
wow.
that first scene over and over and over again, and just seeing, do I want to sit there, do I want to stand there, and that was really helpful to just kind of feel the movement in the space between the four of us. I think
Yeah.
and I think sussing out each other's like energies and stuff like that. And it was really helpful. Yeah, and I think also, when you have multiple siblings, they're not just siblings. You
Yep.
have a very individual relationship
Absolutely.
and connection to each one of them. So I think that first week really helped form that, and how do you interact with each of the different siblings. And I think I feel like for my character, there's definitely moments with each of the three brothers where she has like a certain level of connection, or even just a moment with
Yeah.
them where she like checks in, which I think is
Yeah.
really nice.
I was just thinking there when we rehearsed that scene, I'm asleep for 90% of the scene. So like, you guys
We
would
all
all
really connected.
I know. So like I'd be part of this creative conversation. And I'd be like, and then I think this, okay, great. Like, that was like the entire thing. But we just felt like a family right away. I mean, it was kind of, yeah, amazing.
I mean, it's that interesting thing where, at the start of every episode is that this piece of fiction is based on real events, and you're playing, people that existed. It's diving into that research, I imagine, of who they were, what Stephen's written, but then also finding your own interpretation of that as well. And particularly with Benjamin, and kind of like what's going on before we meet him to find
Yeah.
him in that place.
Yeah, definitely. And that was kind of like, I think it was probably like the most challenging, particularly in like a prep and research kind of phase.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest challenge I've had as an actor. And I think, Ben has really lived a life before we
Yeah.
we meet him. And something that I always kind of thought about was that he's kind of past the point of getting a lot of attention and people trying to help him. We meet him at a time where he's just kind of a ghost in that house, and he is just kind of universally unseen by anyone in a way that he's kind of craving that attention, and is even the negative attention was better than nothing at all. So a big part of a huge part of it was talking about that, and that goes back to what we were talking about, the family stuff. We talked a lot about what Ben and Anne's relationship, what would have been, how I think you really see it in that first scene that Ben and Arthur have a terrible
Yeah.
relationship, and there's quite a lot of bullying going on there as well. But that's something that's so great about Stephen's scripts. Like, the characters are so rich, but they also put in front of you such a big challenge, and you've got to do the work. And
Yeah.
it's like,
You've really got to meet the scripts, I felt like.
yeah,
And it's that idea that of you kind of, as an audience, you're given that opportunity to kind of to really care about them immediately and stuff, and especially when it's a family. He has this kind of wonderful ability to write these family dramas, but they're such an interesting collection of people. They're so different, and they're, they, like you say, they've got their own kind of things with each other, but then as a whole, it's this kind of, it's crazy that it's so much of it's true as well.
I know, yeah, and they're so young. And we talked about
So
this as
young,
well.
yeah.
That even like, I think something that was so great, one of the things that Tom said to us when we were shooting that opening scene, was when the like glass gets knocked over and a maid comes in. He was like, no one should acknowledge that she's come in. Things just get done in this house. You've grown up with this. You should not pay any attention to the staff at all.
We see that in episode 7 as well, as the wedding.
Oh yeah,
It's been
yeah, certainly no, yeah, my mum is gonna love that.
Don't mind us.
Yeah, I know, but that's the same thing.
good, that
It's the same.
scene.
It's the same thing where it's Michael was making me laugh, and like it's kind of like
He's
weird.
so good in that scene.
He's so good in it. But also the funny thing about that is when you're kind of like deep background shooting it, because like when you're actually shooting it, it's like not that awkward, and then you're just kind of deep background. You can just hear like a table being like. Yeah.
What about the? I heard as well. So many of the sets were kind of built and real, and you're able to exist in and around them. How important is that for you? And what were the ones that were really memorable or most important to you for the show?
I think a big thing for me was I really wanted it to feel like this was their home, especially with the costumes as well. I never wanted to feel like I was in a big fancy dress costume in a set. So I think there's like points where, I take out my earrings when I get home and take off my hat and I flop down on the couch. And it's like, it's this beautiful, ornate, like, I think it was vintage, like sofa, but I just flop down and put my feet up on it because it's their home, which I think is really cool. And it's like, it really adds to the fact that this just level of wealth that is just so natural to them. Like they don't even care or don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I think a big scene for me that was really special was the wedding, because it was like, we had dance lessons and I was like, Mum, I'm going the ball. I was like in this big gorgeous dress and we're like doing these dances and I was like, this is crazy. And then also when I was in my horse-drawn carriage pulling up
boots.
to that
boots scene as well when she puts that's great. That's sort of trying to kind of find that, just trying to find that common ground with these people and try and sort of show them that she's kind of there for the right reasons.
Exactly. And I think in the script it's really cool because it's like she's not perfect overnight. She doesn't just blink and suddenly she's like a woman of the people.
Yeah.
Like I had that moment where I'm in the countryside and hearing their stories and stuff, and then I come home and kick off my boots and a maid takes my boots away and I don't even look at them because I'm busy thinking about how do I save poor people. And it's like, God, it's so interesting because it's like it is very real.
Yeah.
Like they're not perfect.
Yeah.
Which I really like.
Yeah, really dysfunctional. It's brilliant. Makes for great drama. Big question for you both. We're talking about kind of just these young, exciting actors that form the base of this main cast in the show. But as fans of film and TV, and as an actor, if you could be in the scene of any film or TV show, what would it be?
Oh, I feel like any scene in A Woman Under the Influence, to watch
Gina.
Just to watch her. I feel like that's kind of like, I just look at that performance and I like, it's just hard for me to even believe that is acting. Like, it's just so I'd want to like sit opposite her and hope that they don't turn around onto me for anything and just like play the whole thing on her. But
great choice.
yeah, I just think that performance is so beautiful.
Go on.
I mean, I think I misinterpreted the question because I was thinking about the rat in Ratatouille.
You could be the rat in Ratatouille if you wanted to be.
Like being in the hat and doing that. I was like, that'd be great.
I sound like a pretentious asshole. I sound like such an asshole. I think I want to be in A Woman Under the Influence. The fucking rat in Ratatouille.
I'd love to be the rat. I can't cook. I'd love to have a rat as well, telling me what to do.
I love those choices. They're so beautiful. They're like, it's such a nice kind of like insight, and it's like people really think about it as well. They go, give me like 20 minutes. No, you've got to give us your first choice. It's such a nice insight into both your choice, and nothing wrong with that choice.
Thank you.
At all.
Everything wrong with mine.
No, it's like,
Nothing wrong with
that.
that. Yours was nuts, but there's nothing wrong with yours.
First person to say animation, and it's brilliant because
I
it's such a
knew
great.
you were going to say animation. I thought you were going to say Shrek though for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause you love that, don't you? You love Shrek. Yeah.
But also, I think sometimes with animation, I get confused because I grew up watching like the bloopers that they do for them.
Yeah.
Remember like the Toy
Toy
Story
Story.
bloopers?
Yeah.
So it's like, I pictured being on that set when Woody falls into like the sellotape.
We need to bring bloopers back. I want to see more.
Yeah. Bloopers. Yeah. We used to get them on DVDs, but we don't do DVDs anymore, unfortunately. So, anyway, I've run out of time. Congratulations.
thank
I
you.
really
Thank
look
you.
forward to, well, I hope there's going to be more, but it's phenomenal. It's great.
thank
Great
you.
to chat to you. Thank you so much.